corruption there.
Not at all. Not at all. I really don't know. Like honestly, that's really up for the lawyers that are there. It's really on us as well, like us people, to you know keep this in the forefront of people's minds and not really letting up on what has happened. But it's really going to come down to the people that live there, live in the area, to really put their foot down and try to elect somebody different this time around. Don't let what's going on continue. If you keep Fonnie Willis in office, then it's not going to change, and that's just something that has to be stood on. And I really do hope that this isn't something that you know get a victory, things move on, and then next thing we know, the next batch of the guys that are there uh, get worse treatment because maybe we're not watching anymore. Not that many people are going to be watching because Young Thug gets out and then they fall to the wayside. Um, who knows if they're going to even guys that are there freaking live stream it still. You know, they could just be like, okay, we live streamed it for Young Thug, and now that he's out of here and everything else is different, we can just go back to hiding this stuff, and the rest of these guys can get whatever they're gonna get.
But the remaining defendants, I mean, like, how can they be charged with RICO if the RICO leader is left gone? I don't.
They don't. You don't have to have the leader. They're just
Uh,
charging. They weren't. Young Thug doesn't have a separate charge of being the leader of a gang. Like it's just Rico. They're just saying that he's the leader of the gang to say that to the jury. You know.
yeah, I think the RICO statute in Georgia needs to align more with federal.
Yeah. From what I heard, I thought it did. I just think that they have some other nuances to where they can wiggle around stuff. But from what I've heard, that it does. But we don't know, man. We don't know. But yeah, I do think it needs to be cleaned up. Like, this is kind of ridiculous at this point. Um, really doesn't make sense as to everything that's going on and all the things that we've seen in this trial. Like, I'm pretty sure none of us are attorneys. None of us might have been through criminal cases or anything of that matter. The most I've been through is family court, and that's even unfair in itself. But from what we have been watching for 151 days and over years and months of this trial, this has just been completely a shit show from the beginning. They've been trying to railroad, uh, these guys just with a abundance of witnesses and quote unquote evidence and people testifying to stuff that really doesn't matter just to overwhelm the jury and just put the jury in a position to where they just if I was a juror on this and I knew nothing about anything and I was just a person that knew nothing, I would have checked out by now. Like if I didn't have any type of awareness of what's going on, who these people are, what are they trying to charge them for, what are they trying to say, I would have checked out because there's no way you can sit there for 12 months of your life being forced to come back to somewhere every day, sitting there through hours of videos being played, hours and days and weeks of people testifying, Miss Love talking like a fucking snail and taking 4 days to get through one witness, but then they change and put these white men on the case and they're getting through the same witnesses within 2 to 3 hours and they're just getting over it and they're getting right to it. Like it would just be so much to to try to rely on the state, and then I know the jury had picked up that the state had been acting poorly. Like, because even though they get excused out of the court, they know they're getting excused out of the court because of something the state has done. Because the defense is not uh, putting on their case. So anything that happens to where the jury has to be taken out of the courtroom, they should know by now is because the state has messed up. So when the defense stands up and say, "Your Honor, I have a motion," they know at this point that that means that that is a motion for mistrial. That means that X, Y, and Z, because of everything they've been through. They've been through Glanville. They've been through all this other stuff. I know they're not sitting at home not looking up this case. It's too much for them not to see anything about this case. And knowing how our phones work, when your phone is in proximity of other phones, things that they look up and that they are into gets pushed to your phone. And if everybody's in that courtroom, you have Sylvia, you have Kayla Bumpus, and you have Mr. Dennis, and you have all these people that are on social media looking up the trial, looking up all the stuff, is going to get pushed to their phones. And when they go home and they get on Facebook and they get on Twitter and they get on YouTube and stuff, all of their apps are going to be pushed to this trial, and they're going to see it. And I know that me as a person, I wouldn't go on a jury and not try to find out the law myself. I'm not going to take what other people are saying as, you know, just what it is, because people can lie, people can get on the stand and lie. And I want to make sure if I'm going to be putting somebody in jail, I'm going to look up what I'm putting them in jail for and make sure that I'm making the right decision. I'm not going to just sit there and just have a judge just say, "Hey, these guys are on trial for murder," and you just have to see if they, killed somebody or not. But they're not saying, "Oh, you have the distinction to see if this was a manslaughter, if this was, an accident, if they meant to do it, if not, all these other, aspects of what a murder charge can be." It could just be this as simple as that. So I don't think that these jurors that are sitting here are none the wiser. I think that a lot of them know what's going on. A lot of them have been looking up. A lot of them have seen TikTok, YouTube Shorts, YouTube videos, live streams. Their friends, family have been telling them about it. I just know this case isn't in a bubble anymore. So it is what it is. What's up, Smith? You can talk.
Okay, how you guys doing? Good morning here. It's
Good morning. Good
7:30
morning.
here. Okay, I just this is my opinion, but I just don't think that everything that happened yesterday is a coincidence.
Not at all.
Like she literally was told at the bench 30 minutes before to not put in that unredacted version of that post, right?
Mhm.
The judge and her both let him slide the first time when he was like, "Can I ask a question? I'm not supposed to say that, yada, yada." But it's not a coincidence that today is this huge party for Fonnie Willis, right? Her party is tonight. And you know that the black law student, Ashley Merchant, and a bunch of other people who are watching this trial actually bought tickets to try to corner Fannie at that party tonight.
Oh yeah. Listen.
So I'm like, this is not a coincidence. She wants to be able, okay, instead of telling them they can't come or, rejecting them from the visitor list for the party or whatever. Now, when they come or, I mean, I just wanted to say that I just don't think that any of this is a coincidence that her big birthday party right before the election and all of that is coming up. We are not stupid. You know what I mean? I just wanted to say that and get it off my chest. Somebody needed to hear that.
Well,
I
I had
appreciate you
no
guys.
idea about birth. I heard about it being her birthday and stuff. I didn't know about a birthday party and what the black law student and other people, which is 100% viable. Like I would
One
do
of
the
the
same
things
thing.
that I thought was, well, there's a couple things,
Mhm.
and I've posted on them, is it seems as if, yes, a lot of the defendants committed these crimes that just knew of Jeffrey Williams and then the younger folks come along and used the YSL label and semi created it as the state's theory of a gang. And with anything that's popular, in the trends, like even
Mhm.
TikTok people jumping on that, that that's where they got, gang come from when a lot of people said YSL, you know. Um, but they still they haven't convicted anybody of Mr. Thomas murder yet.
Exactly.
Like, it seems like they would have, if they wanted justice for the community, they wanted to get these people off, that they would have tried them and put them away. And then if there was RICO, then bring the case and add them back in. But all these people I mean, that we already know the prison system is screwed all across the
A hundred
country.
percent.
It's for profit, ran by corporations, and it's, I don't know, it's just a cluster.
It
And
is. It's nasty.
I mean, people dying in Rice Street waiting on a misdemeanor because they can't get no bail. Um, it's corrupt, and unfortunately, you're seeing a lot of this throughout the whole country. You're seeing more judges become tyrants, and for example, look at that Delphi case up in Indiana.
Mhm.
That judge has complete media audio blackout, and you look at Ashley Merchant fighting for FOIA request, and same thing up there. I mean, she's snatching media's cameras, alleging that they took pictures of jurors and it wasn't true, and uh,
Exactly.
you know you have national media or whatever, they're giving their little reports. But unfortunately, what you're seeing, and you can go into people that, are getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning just to stand in line because there's only 23 seats available to the public. And out of those 23, certain legacy media is in there,
Automatically. Yep.
but these other people that are attorneys, they're, that know the law and stuff like that, and they're reporting on it, they're actually giving more details to the public than what's come out in the, let's see, 10 years since that incident happened. And, and then you see in the news that down the road that, oh, well, this judge has been revoked because they found out that, or recalled, recused, or whatever, dismissed and arrested because of their crimes or whatever. It's just a systemic problem in the country. And then seeing this trial puts a highlight on it. One of the other posts that I made was this on legacy media, flipping through all kinds of different things that, they're calling for professional jurors. Well, if just take for example in this case, if you know that this one DA office is as corrupt as it is, doing these dirty plea deals
Yep.
just because they want to get out of these ratchet ass prison systems that, they don't have enough guards, it's not clean, they're dying in there, and that, what makes you believe that you can a lot of people are like, oh yeah, professional juror. Well, basically they're saying that, for example, King, that you're not educated enough to make a decision on the facts of the case. The Constitution was set and designed for the public, a jury of your peers, to look at those facts and be the trier of those facts. I think a professional juror, I don't care if you grab one from Texas or one from New York or what, who's to say they can't be bought out?
I mean, that's
I
a
saw
hundred
your.
percent the reason
Oh,
why.
sorry. Go ahead.
No,
No,
I was just gonna
sorry.
say that that's a hundred
Yeah,
percent
yeah,
like
I agree
it's a
too.
play. Like Once you get
And I
into
saw
that,
your
that's a
post.
play.
I saw her post on that. I saw your post on that, and I think I reposted it because I'm like a professional juror. Oh, okay. So we're just going to get more people to get put into the politics. They're just going to end up just being like Fanny and all the Fonny or whatever the heck her name is, and all the rest of them.
Hmm.
No, we got to we got
Exactly.
to keep bringing regular people in. That won't be correct at all. That won't be no, because you got to look at it like look at public defenders already, which we call public pretenders, right? So the jurors going to end up, probably being the same way. I mean, some will have principles that they'll stand on, but the rest of them, I don't believe that that's going to be completely biased. That's going to ruin the judicial system more than it's already ruined.
100%. Because at that point, what are we gonna do? Like at that point, if we get to a point in society where us regular people can't discern information to where we can, be the trier of facts in court for our peers, then we're just gonna at this point we're just gonna put robots on the freaking stand. And at this point, I'll shit. I think a robot in place for Glanville and Whitaker at this point would be the option, because this would have been done if a robot was on the case, and the robot can only judge off of the case law and what's supposed to happen. It doesn't take emotions and anything into consideration. This trial would have been done a long time ago. But we have judges that are so invested for whatever reason in this trial, and they're not able to make actual decisions based on the law, and they're just putting their emotions into everything. Like if we get jurors that are biased in that point and they're being told, "Hey, say for instance, we all sign up for jury duty and we all get picked for jury duty. And once we get picked for our jury duties, we have a option for quote unquote a union or a entity to sign up through, and we get paid based off of that. Like, okay, you signed up for this government agency when you're a juror, that they make sure that you get paid for your time as a juror and you get whatever benefits and all the other stuff. They can then hold that against you and say, hey, we're not going to pay for you if you don't uh you know take your notes in a certain way, if you're not going to take these facts in a certain way, and we're going to make sure that you don't get paid. We're going to hold all your payments, or we can give you a big bonus depending on the way that you vote and the way that this trial ends. Imagine that. That would be a fucking shit show. Because I know if I go to court and they say, hey, we're going to give you a couple thousand, extra $1,000, put somebody away, you know what I'm going to do. And that's just the way of life, because money is such a thing. And there's nothing that we can do about that as a society if things get to that point. So, you know, we have to make sure that, we don't give up our rights as much as we have been giving up our rights for these last decade or so. Um, it's just going to get to a point where things are going to get so far away from our control and so far away from our input and anything like that, that it's just gonna be it's just gonna be everything's gonna be an algorithm, man. Everything's gonna be, in control by somebody, and that's just the way that life is going. And unless we, you know, fight for it and stop it, I don't really see any way of us to avoid those things, unfortunately. But yeah, you can go ahead and talk. You don't have to raise your hand
I
or
just
anything.
want to know what feed are you guys going to be watching so I could put it on.
I got Law and Crime on because that's the
Okay,
guy that's actually in there, and she
that's what
told
I thought.
him, yeah, she told him personally, like, hey, you can be here, but we're not gonna start at 9 o'clock. So you
Okay,
know
got it.
he's
I
in the
appreciate
know.
it.
I think Dennis has said that he talked to Young Thug, and he got a picture of him, and Young Thug said he's only wearing this shirt, the shirt that he has on, because he's
Yeah, I
going
made
home
it my
today.
profile pic. That's my
Yeah,
profile
so like
pic.
the way, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know the way that he's talking. Like, Brian still called him last night in jail and was just like, "Hey, brother, enjoy your last meal here. This is it. You going home tomorrow."
I love that so much. I know I'm gonna cry. I know I am.
It's just about time, cause like, just imagine this could have been any of us, any of us like in this situation, like not having bond. Like imagine you go to court and you don't have a record. Like think about this. Kadiri Zachary has all these charges and all of these, things against him, and
And he's
he's
out.
out. Mutunk has all of these things against him. He's out. Woody have
Hmm.
all of these things against him. He's out. And we can go on and on and on. But the one person that is on trial that doesn't even have a speeding ticket in his name has been in jail for 2 years straight
I
is
know.
disgusting.
I know. I've been watching since day one because of that very exact reason. It is sad. It is unworldly. I don't understand it. It breaks my heart. And that's the whole reason I don't even watch trial coverage. But when I found out about this at the beginning and he got remanded into custody, I was like, that's when I started right then and there because I'm a strong follower of YSL and Doug's music,
Hmm.
you know. And it's like, this broke my heart because I know people that are walking around out here right now that have done worse.
Exactly. And like I was on the same page as you. Like so when I first saw, that he was arrested, and then I heard that that they went through his house illegally and stuff. I was like, oh, he's out of here. He's coming home. But the fact that that was actually proven, actually a thing, and everything that they found in his house, that they're actually supposed to not bring into this case, but I think it was brought up in his case before, and Brian still had to say something about it.
Yeah,
Like
sure did.
even that, it's just like, why is he not out on house arrest at least minimum?
And you saw his last when they went for his last bail hearing. All of the things he
They were just
had,
like, we'll put it
he was
up.
gonna pay. He was gonna pay for everything.
They were just like, we
There
can't have him
wasn't, there
outside.
wasn't, there wasn't anything in there that would have even given him room to even breathe outside of his house. It's just completely ridiculous, and it doesn't make sense for somebody that absolutely has no previous charges, like you said, not even a speeding ticket. Like
Exactly.
that is ridiculous.
And the reason why I think that they're doing that is because they know that he's the big fish, right?